Alright, finally. Get to the bread and butter of my playlist here. This is the F-22 Raptor. Yeah, put on a show. Put on a show. And again, like I said, this is the freaking GoPro on the air show. Man, I had a really good look at this thing. It did some pretty close flybys. This was the time when the weather was starting to roll in. Here it comes. That's about as good as you're going to get on the GoPro. It had afterburners going, man. So it would make these passes like this, and you could see the flames just coming out of the engine. Oh, it was fantastic. I've been to a lot of air shows. This is probably the best F-22 I've ever seen. Honestly. I don't know why. Probably because of the proximity. I felt like it flew really close to me. Blue Angels get pretty close to you too, you know. There's like 5 or 6 planes there, so the odds are in your favor. Here it's just one plane. It made some pretty close passes. You can't quite see it, and plus the weather was rolling in. The vapes and capes on this thing were outstanding, just freaking outstanding. It's just beautiful, you know. Look at that. You can see the bad weather. It's coming. So there's some humidity in the air, and this thing would fly by, and it would cape up. And by far, I think. My memory could be hazy, but by far, I think this is the best F-22 show I've ever seen. It's freaking-tastic. All right. Now that all my adulation is out of the way. That's the word, right? Yeah, first of all, yeah, also the mic is not going to pick up. This thing got so close. My brain was rumbling inside my skull, man. I mean, that's what the sound was doing to me. It was awesome. It was awesome. And there's something about a fighter jet, man. You know, like working the job I work, there's been plenty of times where I show up to work. You always hear it. Always hear it before you see it. You know, there'll be test flying something, this or that. You know, F-15 trainer, F-18, whatever. And man, I've seen some Viking takeoffs. I've seen some really cool stuff. But the sight always follows the sound. These jets just rip through the air, man. Always hear it before you see it. It's like, if you watch my videos, I know I've said this, it's the difference between a NASCAR and a road car. It's just, so this thing was just ripping through the sky. It was shredding the air. And I'm not sure the GoPro properly captures that. That's like the whole point of what I'm saying. GoPro does a really good job with the crappy mics it's got. It's like a little Viking takeoff here. Just imagine if that came off the road. That'd be a Viking takeoff. So, yeah, I know I've said this in my previous videos. So, F-22 at least was the first publicly known plane, at least, to be able to accelerate vertically. F-15 being number 1 and the first. So this thing can take off and accelerate vertically. That means, basically what that means is the engines combined produce greater thrust in the plane wings, as far as I know. So that holds true for F-15, holds true for F-22. I guess that's not true for F-18. Yeah, I don't know. This thing, man, it's a really impressive flybys. And it teamed up with a P-51 Mustang later on. That's like a staple of every air show. I feel like every time I go to an air show, F-22 flies, does this thing. At least every air show that features an F-22. Here comes the P-51 Mustang. We love showing off that technology advancement. I don't know why exactly. Because I guess P-51 is like much the staple, at least the best that we had to offer for World War II. There's probably more advanced planes, but certainly not the number and sorties and all the other things that go into fighting actual combat. So that's pretty cool story. The thing is sexy. It really is. And you know, you look at this, the thing's obsolete. It really is. So we are, I don't know if you saw. So the Pentagon government just announced competition for the next NGAD project, or for the NGAD project, Next Generation Air Dominance. Yeah, they have, from what I understand, from what I've read, hold on, next. The idea is for that project to completely usurp the F-22. It's going to retire the F-22, from what I understand. And that's wild to think about. It's like, this thing is still like the most advanced deployed fighter in the world. And as soon as those speed pass, well, let me back to the tangent. Yeah, look how slow that thing's going. So yeah, the F-18 does this too. This is the low speed pass. That is what I promise you. I don't know. I promise you that is 100% flight computer flying that jet. It is flying as slow as it possibly can to stay in the air. Why would you want to do that? The answer is, I don't know. Look cool for air shows, maybe. Yeah, operation. I don't know why you want to do it, but getting back to what I was talking about. Let me check. Yeah, so the F-22 is like, operational standpoint, 25 years old. When did I'd have to look up the IOC initial. Well, IOC in my brain means initial operating capacity, but whenever that thing was first introduced, first deployed, I'm not even sure what year it was. Yeah, we're working on probably at least 20 years. That means China has had that long to study this thing. They probably got a pretty good beat on its radar cross section at this point, either obtained through their own radars or probably stolen. They steal everything. So better believe we have a good beat on the radar cross section. Yeah. That's it. It's been around that long. It's still the most advanced, deployed, operationally capable fighter in the world. It's still 25, 30 years old. It's time for an upgrade, baby. It's time for an upgrade. And so the Pentagon this week being, so it is March, I keep saying March. It's May 21st right now. So that means earlier this week, I don't know, May 18th, Pentagon Defense Department announced there is a competition for the Next Generation Air Dominance fighter. That's pretty cool. That gets me pumped. How long is it going to be before we see that in an air show? Probably a long time. But yeah, the F-22 successor sounds like it is well in the works. And thank goodness, because we need it. You can see the C-17 taxi. I guess that's what it is. But yeah. So, all right, you can barely see it. This is the F-22 with the P-51 Mustang from World War II. At this point, I was operating the camera with one hand. That's pretty cool. I imagine the P-51 is like full throttle, and the F-22 is... Well, we've already seen it at no throttle. So it definitely was no throttle. What I'm trying to say is that P-51 is probably flying as fast as it can. F-22 is probably slowing that down as possible. That's crazy. I mean, how much engineering separates those two planes? How many years, you know? It's 50, 60. Look how far they've come. This is the last one on this segment. F-22 doing one more pass. Yeah, baby. Stay tuned. We got some skydiving coming up. We got some C-17 action. You saw taxiing in one of the earlier F-22 videos here. We got the 17. Prepare for takeoff. Oh! F-22 dropped a smoke bomb.